special type of temperate rainforest, an old-growth coast redwood forest. These trees can grow beyond 300 feet and live to the mature age of over 2,000 years. Rainy and foggy coastal conditions ensure that there is enough moisture for their survival. Sempervirens. The ever-living redwood is another name for the coast redwood. Its many survival adaptations include thick bark, long roots, and its extraordinary height. Tannic acid within redwood bark gives it a rich cinnamon red color while providing defense against insects, fungus, and even fire. Almost indestructible, these huge trees persistently survive while battling natural elements. More than 100 years have passed since the last forest fire burned through here. Feel the trunk of this tree. Notice the fire scars that are still present. Most fires cannot penetrate the thick, fibrous, and almost fire-resistant redwood bark. An intense fire may burn through the bark and hollow out a tree, but if enough living tissue remains unharmed, the tree, like this one, continues to live and slowly heal its fire scars. Touch the bark of this Douglas fir tree. Is it that one? What one?
I don't know. We're going to have to ask Zane.
The other tall tree in this forest feels different than the coastal redwood.
I think it's that one over there, babe. I think that's a Douglas fir.
No,
Yep.
It's not.
You sure?
Yeah, because it has broad leaves. Fir trees have needle leaves. Like this. It's this one. See? The stringy, fibrous redwood bark feels spongy, and a Douglas fir bark is hard and furrowed. When comparing leaves, the Douglas fir needles resemble a bottle brush, while redwood leaflets lie flat on the twig. Both trees make small cones, though differently shaped. The coast redwood cone is round, and the Douglas fir cone is conical with small bracts that resemble a mouse tail and hind feet. And that solves the mystery of pine. The coast redwood has the ability to sprout from its trunk base. You are now standing in the middle of a redwood family circle. Where a larger redwood once grew. The trees that make up this circle have sprouted from the base of a parent tree. Even if a redwood tree has been logged, its root system is still alive. This unique ability among conifers testifies to their strength and tenacity. Find young redwood sprouts just around the corner of the fence, gently feel the delicate new growth, and consider what will become of these young redwoods over time. These are baby redwoods. Baby redwoods. New life from dead trees. The tallest trees in the world have a shallow root system growing only 6 to 12 feet below the surface. Instead of growing deep, their roots grow out, extending hundreds of feet laterally. Wrapping their roots around other redwood roots, these trees help each other stay in the ground until flood and wind finally knock them over. Fallen redwoods provide a fertile place for new trees to grow. Count how many trees you can see growing from this downed redwood. Several. Oh. The giant. Aptly named. This tree, called the giant, grows 270 feet tall and over 17 feet wide, almost as high as a 25-story building. Imagine a tree this large grows from a seed the size of an oatmeal flake. Redwood seeds come from olive-sized cones containing, on average, 60 to 120 seeds. The redwood forest floor is thickly covered with leaves, so seeds rarely find their way to the soil except after a fire or flood. It is amazing to think that a tree the size of the giant can germinate from something so small. Story of the Fremont tree, known as the Pathfinder. John Fremont came through this forest in 1846. It was reported that General Fremont spent the night in the burnt-out hollow redwood tree in front of you. Asked if he ever slept in this tree when he returned here in 1888, Fremont's reply was, "It makes a great story, let it stand." Today you can explore the inside of the Fremont tree. Once inside, feel the humid air and marvel at this still living tree and its great story. Redwood Railroad and Resort. Listen for the whistling sound of a train.
Nope.
On the other side of the fence, railroad tracks line the ground. Many years after the Fremont expedition, disembarking passengers from San Francisco came to the Welch's Big Trees Resort. The Welch family acquired this grove in 1867, and by doing so, preserved the trees. Now close your eyes, imagining the sounds of chatter and excitement with resort patrons dancing to live music on their way to dinner, and relaxing among the glorious trees. Because of the extraordinary qualities of this grove, the resort lasted about 50 years. The resort has long been gone, but the train now runs once again just outside the grove and through the park. You have to come closer. Burls. The profusion of bumpy growths on this tree is a burl. Harmless to the tree, burls are a mass of natural dormant buds and can sprout new foliage. Some burls are found on root tops, while others can be seen higher on the tree. As a redwood grows, the burl steadily grows until the number of buds reaches thousands. Sprouting among cone-bearing plants is rare, and these curious bumps add to the magnificence of the coast redwood. Under the low-growing clover-like plant called redwood sorrel, you might catch a glimpse of a banana slug. A native mollusk, this animal helps the redwood forest by recycling nutrients through eating various parts of the forest, such as green plants, fungus, and decaying matter. Identified by its bright yellow color, long slimy body, and shining footprint, the banana slug is a charismatic and important part of this ecosystem.
Cut to other video.
Go by. Awe-inspiring trees. With all the characteristics the coast redwood possesses, it's no wonder why many people grew to admire these trees and want to preserve them for future generations. This fine example of one root system supporting many trees demonstrates the sheer persistence this species has to survive. Listen to sounds of this old grove. The melody of the Pacific wren and the loud chatter of the western gray squirrel remind us they live here in this protected place, and of how fortunate we are that places like this exist. Forest. The white foliage of the albino redwood leaves lack chlorophyll, which green plants need to make their own food. By sharing a root system with a green-leafed tree, this distinctly white redwood sprout survives by getting its necessary nutrients from the parent tree. Depending on seasonal conditions, the albino redwood may seem like a ghostly apparition and very difficult to spot growing right in front of you. In 1930, William T. Jeter, a state and local community leader, saved this grove from being cut. The grove you are now standing in was then named Santa Cruz County Big Trees Park. The Cowell family donated neighboring lands in 1953, when this grove and surrounding property became the California State Park named the Henry Cowell Redwoods. Here is the Dawn Redwood, a close relative of the coast redwood. It was thought to be extinct until the 1940s, when it was rediscovered in a remote valley in China. This deciduous redwood is also planted near the park entrance station. Both trees were reportedly planted on the same day more than 60 years ago. A giant sequoia has also been planted there. All three redwoods may be compared. So that must be the sequoia too, huh?
Yeah.